afternoon. Welcome, everybody. MrJarrell.com. Hey, buddy. Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning into the Nooner. If I'm not mistaken, there is a good-looking hunk of man named Michael Cirillo hanging out on the Nooner today. Michael Cirillo, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. Laura showed up. Apparently, Laura's going to use today's episode of the Nooner to get jacked up to go through a big stack of ugly-ass paperwork that I saw on her Facebook page. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is episode 53 of the Nooner. Later on this week, if you are joining me on a regular, we're going to have a special guest on Thursday. I'm not going to tell you who that is yet. That will be a surprise. But make sure you're hanging out with me on Thursday because we're going to be talking about solopreneurship. What is solopreneurship? Well, look it up. But I got a special guest coming in to hang out with us on Thursday talking about that and wrestling. Wrestling and solopreneurship. What do those two things have in common, huh? So, let me dig into this today. Hope you guys are doing well. So here we are. It's episode 53 of the Nooner. I am your host. My name is David Bradley. Who am I? I'm a sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. Been working with Grant for the last 5 years. It'll be 5 years in... Hey, Kevin. It's going to be 5 years in March. Okay, I've been doing it for 5. Grant's technology took me from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. So when I got an opportunity to share that with other people, I'm like, I'm all in. So if you're not too sure on who Grant Cardone is, let me get you up to speed on that, okay? New York Times best-selling author. He's written 5 books since the economic collapse of 2008. His mission is to help the planet be at cause for their financial success, okay? We want to literally... Same fashion as Steve Jobs, we want to put a ding in the universe, okay? So here's what we do at Cardone Training Technologies. We can increase production in your business 15 to 30% by helping you find and then handle missed opportunities. So think about this. If you've got a business, this is a business of 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000. There's opportunity out there that is probably slipping through the cracks. If you give it some real thought, you can find that. Okay, so what you can do is reach out to me, david@grantcardone.com, 310-777-0352, and I can give you some very clear-cut ways on how to plug the leaks, how to find and then handle missed opportunities. 75% of what we do here is 100% free. So the initial consultation is free, right? It's kind of like when you call a lawyer. So that's one thing. Another thing about me is I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. I smoked cigarettes for 15 years, could not figure out how to kick the habit, couldn't figure out how to quit. But I did figure out how to stop. In fact, I've stopped so well, I haven't had a cigarette since May of 2002. So if you'd like to read more about how I did that and how you can too, this will apply to any habit. Check out stopdon'tquit.com for more information on that. You can also, my other thing is I'm the founder of a hashtag called Rich Man's Gym. This is about home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. This is my next book in progress. And if you search Rich Man's Gym, it's a hashtag. You can get a little preview to what is to come. There's some pretty cool stuff on Google. There's a website that's in development. There's a lot of articles up on hub pages. So check that out if you're looking to get in shape from home or the park. Don't have to go to the gym to look good naked. So today, how long should it take to buy a car in today's market, 2015? Now, so I've got notes today. I've got a bunch of notes. I got 4 pages of notes from an article I wrote that we're going to be talking about. But I've also done some Googling, and I've also got a screenshot, which I'm not going to share with you because it's going to give away the location of the secret rebel base. So here's the story. I get an email from a compadre of mine yesterday, and in it is a screenshot, and it's got some interesting statistics that I'm going to share with you that I may or may not agree with. And it brought this concept to the forefront, which is how long should it take to buy a car in today's market. And today, for the sake of the Nooner, we're going to use car as a metaphor. Okay, doesn't necessarily mean This could be anything. So how long could it take to buy anything? I'm going to use car as the metaphor, but in today's economy, today's market, today's structure, we in our company believe that speed is power. Now, there are some people that are still very much attached to some traditional methodology in terms of selling that will tell you that speed kills sales. Okay, so that's the, hey, and where do you guys sit on that? So if you're tuning in right now, or if you're catching a rebroadcast of this on YouTube, would love to get a comment below. So is speed a powerful thing, or is speed something that can kill a deal? Okay, and think of, and I want your opinion as a consumer or as a sales professional, because I got both on these things, right? I got both types of people coming in. Now, and I'm both, right? Michael Cirillo, you're both, right? You're a consumer and you are also a salesperson. I know Laura is, right? So where do you sit on that? Do you think speed helps the deal, or do you think speed slows the deal down? Does it kill a deal? Okay, so listen to what this screenshot that I got says. Slow down equals sell more. Spend less than 60 minutes with a customer, your close 6%. 72 minutes close 31%. 100 minutes close 57%. Okay. Now my question is, how relevant is that data in 2015? Okay. So there's an article, if you Google it, how long should it take to buy a car in today's market? I've got notes from that article here, so I'm going to discuss that in relation to what I just gave you. Okay. So if you think about building relationships, if you think about maintaining gross profit, and you also think about customer satisfaction. Okay. So if I Googled the term, how long should it take to buy a car? You can do it too. What do we find? The time it takes to finalize all paperwork varies from dealer to dealer. A few have optimized their sales process and can get you in and out in less than 30 minutes. On the flip side, I've known some buyers who spent more than 7 hours at a dealership. That's the top of Google, kids. So the other thing you find, though, is a really cool article from Auto Trader. Actually, it's a press release. And they give some data. They give some real interesting stats where they break down myths. Okay, so I'm going to share some of these with you. There's also some stuff in there from J.D. Power. Okay, so look, not only has the vehicle changed, cars are very different now than they were 20 years ago, right? But the way people shop and buy for cars is very different now. And I think the way people shop and buy for anything is very different now. And I'm going to give some tangible examples to that. But the question is, if you're looking at a car dealership, is the process at the dealership, is it designed for the dealership, or is it designed for the customer? Marco Bonini, what do you think, man? Is the sales process, is it designed for the dealership or the company, or is it designed for the customer? Okay. And if you're in business, are you using technology, or is technology using you? Okay. So J.D. Power tells us that customers now visit an average of no more than 1.4 dealerships before they buy. In 2005, it was 4.5. So a customer would go to 4, they physically show up at 4.5 different dealerships. Now they're at 1.4. I don't know what the 0.4 is all about, but think about that for a second. Basically, let's round up 1.5. So if you're the half, that means you totally screwed it up, basically. Look, our company, Cardone Training Technologies, has been at the forefront of calling for a more customer-focused, shorter sales process where we can leverage information to increase profit and customer satisfaction. In fact, we've done that with some pretty large, OEMs, or original equipment manufacturer. Okay, now Auto Trader, the article I was mentioning earlier, they show us that a customer is now spending 13.75, if not more, hours hitting the internet researching before they actually engage in a dealership. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you don't need to go to dealer to dealer to dealer to get the information you need to make a well-informed decision. It's all online, just like everything else. Okay, so what this also tells me is that they are looking to minimize their time at the dealer. And why that is, there's some obvious reasons, but I think in this world, time is money, right? Speed is power. So, is relationship important though? Well, yeah, of course, okay? If somebody doesn't know you, like you, and trust you, they're not giving you their money, period. The question is, how do you do that? How do you get them to like you? How do you earn their trust? Right? So, I think trust in a relationship with a client is more important now than ever because you only get one shot, 1.4. Okay? So in Grant's book, Sell or Be Sold, we lay down some very fundamental things such as, hey, service is senior to selling, treat them like millionaires, love the one you're with, okay? And a great attitude is worth more than a great product all day long, right? Can't really argue with that. These are fundamentals. It reverberates through everything we teach, okay? That being said, your customers have been experiencing the same long process. And if you go to any reviews, you start looking at dealership reviews or customer complaints, the number one thing is time. How long is this going to take? I don't want to get jacked around. I don't want to get the runaround. I want to get in. I want to get out. Why does it take so long? Right? Why? Google this. Here, check this out. The Google I just did a minute ago, how long should it take to buy a car? I got 380 million results in 0.52 seconds. Less than a second to get 380 million results, okay? That fast. That's how customers operate. They want it now. We are in the now immediate gratification. Okay? They're not going to give you 100 minutes. Ever. Okay? So, this is how rapid and abundant information is. Okay? Times are changing. Information changes. Industries change. Markets change. And most of the time when a market changes, it's customer driven. Make sense? So, try this. Here's a thought. Run down to the local video store and get yourself a copy of Weekend at Bernie's. And what? Oh, there is no local video store. If I want to watch Weekend at Bernie's, I'll go to Netflix. Right. So there's my example. Markets change. And most of the time, they're customer driven. Why is Blockbuster gone? Too many late fees. Couldn't find what you wanted when you got there. The fun of going to the video store wasn't fun anymore. Someone said, hey, I can get this thing online? I can stream it? I stay home. Shit. Okay. The music industry was convinced that people would never give up shopping for music. There's probably somebody watching this right now that, what? Has never been to a record store. Okay? And you've missed out on that. So the point being is that retail environments, and a car dealership is retail, okay? Retail environments change. And they change with the flow and the demand of the consumer base. So while all customers may or may not all customers are going to want this super fast streamlined process. Some people literally want to go through the deal. Like that's what they need to buy a car. So, but here's the challenge that Grant gives. And I've seen him do this at seminars and at workshops. He'll say, hey, would you advertise your selling process? Would you literally tell a customer, hey, in order for you to do business with us, you got to go through a 12-step process. It's going to take 4 to 5 hours, sometimes 7, and we're going to do everything that you hate about buying a car. Would you advertise that? Does that make sense? No. Okay, so why wouldn't you want to simplify this for a customer? And again, we're using cars as a metaphor here, so think about your business. Okay, why wouldn't you want to simplify the process for the customer? because everything else is simplified. Okay, let's use test drives, right? No one is willingly going to waste their respective time. No one, regardless of income bracket. Okay, back in the day, someone that didn't have a lot of time usually meant they got money. Now, nobody's got a lot of time. Ever. You probably don't have enough time to be watching this. You probably watched about half of it, and you're going to pick the rest up on YouTube later, if at all. So, look, Zappos, right? I was going to go with the test drive example, okay? You don't even need to go to a shoe store anymore, right? You go to Zappos, you pick a couple that you like, they mail them to you, you try them on, the one you don't want, you send back. Keep the ones you do. So when a company that is like Zappos and then a customer says, I don't need to test drive it, and you're like, well, but you have to. It's part of the process, man. And the guy's like, no, I don't try my shoes on before I buy them. Why would I need to test drive a car? This is what I want. Write me up, right? There are people like that. That's how they buy cars. That's not everybody, but you got to know who you're talking to, right? So again, speed, is it powerful? Does it move things along, or does it kill your deal? Okay, I think in today's day and age, the faster you can go, the better off you're going to be. The customer will slow you down. How'd that be? Hey man, can we slow down a little bit? Sure. I'm just trying to be respectful of your time, sir. Okay, so this is why sales training needs to modernize its approach. So the answer to, how long should it take to buy a car or buy anything? It should be streamlined to be as efficient as possible for the customer. It should be as easy as possible for someone to give you money. Okay, and not all customers are actually looking for this long-term relationship. Okay, some will be. Okay, but you got to be able to train. You got to be trained as a salesperson to handle both customers. The guy that wants it now. Okay, how to take that guy and turn him into a relationship guy. Can you do that? Okay, that may require some training. So, think about this. If you go into a company, right, you get hired. How do you learn? There's not a lot of manuals anymore, right? It's all online. It's all cloud-based. So, look, here's the bottom line. Speed is power. That's what we teach. That's what we believe, and I think that's the reality in this world. And not only does Grant tell you that, but I think you can look at a guy like, say, Gary Vaynerchuk. He points out in Jab, 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 Right Hook that it took 38 years before 50 million people had radios. Okay, so before 50 million people had a radio, it took 38 years. Okay, and but it took only 13 years for 50 million people to have a television. Okay, then Instagram had 50 million users in a year and a half. Okay? The world is speeding up. It's going fast. I'm at my 20-minute mark. We got to go. Okay? What'd you get from this today? Okay? So, speed is power. Make sense? You follow? Questions, comments, concerns? Leave something below. Send me an email, david@grantcardone.com. You can call me direct, 310-777-0352. Here's your bottom lines, okay? Customers will pay more for a good attitude over a great product. Speed is power, okay? Salespeople truly are the competitive advantage in this marketplace. If you can efficiently serve and sell a customer, wrap up a deal, the faster it is for everyone involved, the more money is there to be made, and the quicker this whole thing gets done. Bottom line goes back to this golden rule, okay? Treat people with respect. Help them to efficiently make the right decision. Give them the experience that you would want or you would want for your family member. If Uncle Joe came to your company, how would you treat him? Treat your clients the exact same way and watch what happens. Okay? This has been episode 53 of The Nooner. How long should it take to buy a car in today's market? Reach out to me if I can help in any way. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow. I will be on the road, but I've got a great quote that I'm going to drop on you from the road, and you're going to love it. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.